Hey everybody, welcome back into another episode of Winning Bets. It's my weekly NASCAR show that I do, and I'm always joined by my guest, William Blackwell. How's it going there, William?
It's going good, man. NASCAR is heading to my home track, the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I cannot be much more happier than I am right now.
Yeah, I know you're buzzing inside because you were at that race back in March. I know you'll be headed down there again this weekend and watch the boys in action this weekend. Should be a fun, good weekend there for you this weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's jump on into our show here. Remind everybody what we do here. We always recap the previous week and then we preview the upcoming week with an angle of giving you our picks for a chance to win $25,000 over on the Jackpot Races. So, with that being said, let's get on into it. First of all, let's give you our thoughts on Road America, where we obviously had Chase Elliott win. And I'm just going to say, I'm kicking myself for not picking Chase Elliott. I picked Chase Elliott to win Coda, I picked Chase Elliott to win Sonoma. Obviously, he didn't win Sonoma, but I mean, he finished P2, so he's pretty much right there. He'd won 7 of the last 11. Why did I not pick Chase Elliott? Why did I not do that, William?
I'm on the same bus as you. I did not pick Chase Elliott. I picked Austin Cindric for crying out loud. He did good race, though. But yes, we're on the same boat when it comes to not picking up Chase Elliott.
No, but yeah, no, that was a good race though. I mean, the at least stage one, you had multiple people, competing, for P1 and battling for the lead there. You mentioned Cindric. I think we handicapped him pretty well. I mean, you can't predict, a mechanical issue. He was at the lead there before he had that mechanical issue. He would have had a strong day, top three, top five, I believe, at worst. I mean, I think we got it right there with him. Just unfortunate, like I said, he had that mechanical. But I thought it was a great race. Like I said, stage one really had a lot of exciting lead changes. What were your thoughts on that race?
One thing that caught my attention for this race at Road America, we saw three Joe Gibbs cars finishing inside the top five. That was really impressive. But if you were to tell me heading into Road America that three of the Gibbs cars will finish, I would assume Martin Truex Jr. would have been in the mix, but he was not. So, leading the charge, finishing P2, Kyle Busch was P3, and Denny Hamlin was P5. So Toyota has upped their game these past couple of weeks, and it showed at Road America. And now they enter Atlanta, which is usually good to them, especially Kyle Busch. It's one of his best tracks, so who knows? He might do really good this Sunday.
Yeah, Kyle Busch continues to look strong. Maybe Chris Bell is also one of those drivers we got to start taking a little bit more serious here on the road course. Obviously won the Daytona road course, had a real nice strong finish, as you mentioned at Road America. So that was really impressive for me. I was not expecting that from him this past week. I was expecting Kyle Busch. We talked about him on that preview show, you and me. We were expecting Kyle Busch to be really strong, but yeah, Bell was a little bit of a shocker. I know, again, he won Daytona road course, but I wasn't expecting him to be quite that strong at the weekend. Any other thoughts on Road America? Or should we flip it over now to the Quaker State 400?
Yeah, Chase Briscoe, my driver, brought it home P6. I was really pumped up about that. I just want to add that out there.
All right, yeah, good stuff there. All right, let's do it now. Let's turn our attention now to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We got the Quaker State 400. I think it's worth mentioning that this is going to be the last time, that the boys will be running on the current configuration. A lot of audience probably knows about it, where they're going to change the banking from 24 degrees up to 28 degrees, and they're also going to make the track a little bit narrower, so put the cars a little bit tighter. Should be exciting. They said they tried it out in that iRacing. I did not watch that during the pandemic. I watched one of the races for about 10 minutes, and I just couldn't do that video game stuff. So what do you think about maybe the redesign there? I know you did on your own YouTube show. You did a little bit of a preview there for it, talking about it. What do you think about it?
Well, it breaks my heart. Atlanta, the way it is right now, it is perfect. The racing is getting better every single year because the track is getting more worn out. But for them to change it to 28 degrees banking, I really got nothing against it. But for them wanting to narrow the track, I just setting up disaster because when you got a narrow track with grass in the inside of you, you're going to see some bad wrecks going on. And some people like wrecks and some people do not, but this will be a total disaster. And it's going to be a big issue in the future.
I think that's a good point. The Rex is probably what's driving it because I mean, just look at that March race. I mean, Kyle Larson dominated it and kind of was a snooze fest, through parts of that race. And if you have the cars tighter, it'll lead to more wrecks, lead to more cautions, and restarts is where you kind of get that action. I think that is what the officials down there at the Atlanta Motor Speedway wants to get out of it because not that the March race was boring. We kind of talked about it obviously a couple months ago. We enjoyed it, but the casual fan just doesn't enjoy that, and that's what they got to do to get the viewership is get in the casual fans. You, me, we're gonna watch it week in, week out. They got to attract that casual fan, unfortunately. So yeah, it's going to lead to changes. I saw Denny Hamlin put out a pretty funny tweet about how the driver's input isn't being put into it, and how Kentucky lost a race and Texas only got one. It was a pretty funny tweet. I don't know if you caught Denny Hamlin's reaction to that changes there. It was funny though.
Yeah, Hamlin went after NASCAR. So did the hottest driver in NASCAR right now, Kyle Larson. He went straight after NASCAR. He was not too happy with them. But a little more info about the Atlanta track. They're going to try to make this a super speedway, but it's a 1.5-mile track, but they're going to want it to race like one. You're going to see a lot more drafting, and I'm looking forward to it, but, man, you're going to see some bad wrecks.
Yeah, I assume it's still going to be using the 550, right? You think 550?
Yes, with the high banking, it is pretty much giving it a clear notice, but it will be low horsepower. It would not be 750. It has to be 550.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. That's what they're doing there with that retrack. Let's now get in our picks here for the Jackpot races again. Remember everybody, they did race here back in March. It was kind of dominated there by Kyle Larson, but I'll give Blaney credit. He took the lead with about 9 laps to go and actually really built out a nice sized lead, about 2 or 3 seconds if I recall correctly, there on Kyle Larson and had a nice finish there to Blaney. So yeah, good win by him. So we got that in our memory back. We've also obviously done our own research and homework here. Let's now give you our picks for a chance to win $25,000 over on the Jackpot races. This is where they give you 6 groups of drivers. You got to pick driver to finish best amongst the group. Then you got to give them a winner, and you got to give them a second place. We'll let you go ahead and take first here on Group 1. You got to give me a winner here between Larson, Hamlin, Byron, Elliott, and Kyle Busch. Who are you going to take amongst this group?
I am going to pick Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson was so close to winning this race back in March, but since then the table has turned. He has won many races. He won the Coca-Cola 600, which is a 1.5-mile track, went to Sonoma, which is a road course, but he went to Texas the following week and won $1 million on a 1-mile track, and went to Nashville, which sort of races like one, and he won that race too. So Kyle Larson has what it takes to win at a 1.5-mile track, but he will be the safe pick for this first round.
Okay, all right. I am going to take amongst these drivers. I am also going to go ahead and take Kyle Larson. Look, you just kind of said it right there. We talked about it a second ago. He dominated in March. He won stage 1. He won stage 2. Again, give Blaney credit. But if that same situation were to present itself, I'm going to go ahead and take Larson all day long. And you kind of mentioned it right there about how hot he's gotten. Like Blaney, has certainly cooled off. I know he had, a good weekend at Pocono on both of those races, but obviously so did Kyle Larson. He's just had a good, probably fantastic 2 months. Also on Kyle Larson, the last 4 stages here at Atlanta, second. P2 is his worst in those last 4 stages at Atlanta. And his last 4 races overall at Atlanta, all 8 stages are in the top 10. He is going to be fast again this weekend, folks. So I like Kyle Larson to be better amongst those group. Easy pick, but it's got to be done, folks. Don't get cute here. Don't get cute. Take Kyle Larson. Let's move it over now to Group 2, where we got to pick between Logano, Truex, Harvick, Blaney, and Bowman. I'll go ahead and take first, and I'm going to go ahead and take Alex Bowman. And this was actually a tough group for me. I could make a case for Harvick. I could make a case for Blaney. But in the end, I went with Bowman. And it's large in part because just what Hendrick's done, since the last time we were at Atlanta back in March. They have really taken off. Bowman himself has obviously taken off, getting in a couple of victories. So I like that. He was 3rd in March. Here back in March, and he was 6th and 3rd at both of those stages. So he didn't just come out of nowhere and get that P3. He was running top 10 all day long. So I'll take Bowman the showman for me. How about for you?
Well, for me, it is pretty simple right here. It's going to be the 4-car of Kevin Harvick. He is the best driver out of this whole entire group at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I know you can make the case that Ryan Blaney won in March, but Harvick is just so darn good at this track. He finished P10 in March. And he had a penalty towards the end of the race, which he raced his way up to P10. That is driver of the day, in my opinion. So heading to a track for the second time this year, with his cars getting better week in and week out, as I mean by Stewart-Haas Racing. So Harvick is the safe pick, in my opinion, out of this whole group. Because Alex Bowman, like you said, he's your pick. He's pretty good this year, but Hendrick Motorsports is too. But Alex Bowman has been known out of the whole group this year, out of Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Kyle Larson, to be the one that's usually hit or miss. And he usually miss. When he's off, he is completely off.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. Like I said, I really struggled, with Group 2, and I think we talked about it. It wasn't last week because they raced at a road course. It must have been the week before I talked to on our show. I picked Harvick one time because he had like 8 straight top 10s, at the Oval. So Mr. Consistency. So I like your pick there, taking the number 4. All right, you go first here in Group 3. You got to do Keselowski, Kurt Busch, Dillon, Reddick, and Bell. Who's it going to be for you?
I am really wanting to pick Tyler Reddick in this round. He is great on the mile and a half. He is really good on the worn-out tracks. But, man, Kurt Busch right now is on a tear, so I'm going with Kurt Busch.
All right, you're going Kurt Busch. All right, folks. Well, I'm also going to go ahead and go with Kurt Busch. The reason I'm going to go with Kurt Busch is he showed Atlanta. He was strong and he was fast. Obviously, he got wrecked out there on that restart. The start of stage 2 when Kyle Busch spun his tires and Elliott had to check up, and then he checked up, and then Denny Hamlin running in the back of him. But I thought he was poised for a really, really strong day. He seemed like he was really fast. And if you exclude that race right there where he ended up finishing 39th there back in March, his last 6 races at Atlanta, all of them have been in top 10. I love that right there, what he's been doing at Atlanta. So go ahead and give me Kurt Busch.
Yeah, Kurt Busch had race-winning pace back in March, so keep your eye on that. Matt McCall, his crew chief, is really smart when it comes to things like that, bringing the similar setup to the following race and changing a little bit of things there, but Kurt Busch will be fast, mark my words.
Yeah, and maybe also to go along with that, when I was doing this app last year, I was pretty good towards the end of the season of predicting guys who had like something to prove. Maybe they didn't have a contract or a team. Obviously, with Chip Ganassi, now being sold to Trackhouse Racing, his future is a little up in the air, and he turned it up the past couple weeks. I expect Kurt Busch to just finish really strong, throughout this season, to prove it to somebody, whether it's his, the new team, Trackhouse, or somebody. Yeah, I like Kurt Busch, what he's going to be doing going forward. All right, Group 4, you're up first. You got to pick between Buescher, Stenhouse, Almirola, Chastain, and Suarez. Who are you going to go with right here?
I am going to go with Eric Almirola. Eric Almirola, since finishing 4th at Nashville a couple weeks ago, it has gone all downhill. And you know what? He's going to Atlanta, a track he normally runs decent at. I'm going to pick him here. He's a safe pick here for this round.
All right, Eric Almirola for you. I am going to go ahead and go with Daniel Suarez. Look, I think he's got good momentum right now at the Ovals. Look at 7th at Nashville. He had a great weekend at Pocono, finished 13th and 15th in both of those races. And kind of like, with Kurt Busch, a little bit of uncertainty going into next year, a little bit there. So I obviously I think he'll be back, but there is still, some uncertainty, right? They bought the new team, so a little bit of uncertainty. So I kind of just like what Daniel Suarez here. So this is more of a kind of momentum pick. Again, good at Nashville, good at Pocono on both those races, 13th and 15th. I'll go and go with Daniel Suarez right there. All right, let's move it over to Group 5. We got to do between McDowell, DiBenedetto, Newman, Wallace, and LaJoie. I'll go ahead and go first. And I'm going to go ahead and go with Matt DiBenedetto. I don't really talk about starting position here on ovals. I don't really think it matters, but for what it is worth, he starts 12th, where these other guys start 24th through 29th. Not going to put a lot of weight in that, but it is a thing. He won this group in March. That's what I put a lot of weight in. He was the best driver in this group back in March. He even had a driver rating of 93.2 that day. He was really strong. He was 6th in stage 2, so he was strong in that day. And he's coming off 2 straight top 20 finishes. And I know, top 20 doesn't sound all that sexy, but folks, we're in Group 5. It's getting tough. So 2 straight top 20s, yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. So Matt DiBenedetto for me. What about for you?
Well, Matt DiBenedetto is pretty much the safest pick out of this whole round. This round has according to fantasy terms, a bunch of scrubs. So he is the safe pick.
All right. Wow, we got a lot of similarities there. I kind of like it. All right, cool. All right, Group 6, you got to go first. You got to pick between Custer, Briscoe, Priest, Jones, and Alfredo. Should I just go ahead and tell everybody you're on Briscoe now? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm on Briscoe, obviously. I'm on Briscoe, of course. But out of this whole round, Briscoe is going to be the only driver that is not involved in a pit road penalty, in a wreck, or some other type of incident on the track. This is a really intense round because you don't know who is going to wreck out or have a pit road penalty every single week in Route 6. It's always crazy to see how things go out here.
Yeah, well, Alfredo's going to wreck out. I go ahead and tell you that. He's going to do something stupid. So I got Cole Custer. He better not be wrecking out. Again, I put a lot of weight into what these guys did at March. He won this group back in March by 5 spots. He had a better driver rating in that race by 13 points. He's only raced Atlanta twice in his career, and both of those were in the top 20. Again, guys, we're in Group 6. I mean, two races, both in the top 20. Yeah, I go ahead and like that. So go ahead and give me Cole Custer right there in Group 6. All right, William, you got to give these people a winner and a second place. Who's taking that checker flag and who's going to be right behind them?
On my YouTube channel, I make it short and simple. And winning this past weekend at Road America with Chase Elliott. But I think he goes to his home track and struggles. That's going to catch a lot of people off guard. And I just don't think Hendrick Motorsports as a whole will get the checker flag. But instead, Stewart-Haas Racing driver Kevin Harvick will bring home the checker flag, winning his first race of the 2021 season, and finishing runner-up to him will be the 5 car of Kyle Larson. Larson will finish runner-up once again at Atlanta.
Okay, all right, yeah. I mean, Chase Elliott did bad back in March. He had that engine issue. I know the locals certainly want him to do good, but, yeah, didn't get it done right there. All right, who's going to take that checkered flag for me? I'm going to go ahead and say Kyle Larson, folks. I'm expecting him to be really strong and really fast again this weekend. So Kyle Larson will have that checkered flag. Right behind him will be Kyle Busch. He finished 5th in March. He was 2nd and 4th in both stages 1 and 2, so really, really strong all day. He's got the 3rd best average finish, and which is 5th place amongst all active drivers, and he's the 4th best driver rating since 2018. And at the moment, he seems to be week in, week out the biggest threat to Hendrick. And I think you're crazy. I mean, I'm not calling William crazy. I mean, Harvick's an excellent pick, but I mean, Hendrick is top class. Week in, week out, it seems like Kyle Busch is the guy that I can consistently put my money behind. That I think, all right, I think this is the guy that's going to compete with these guys. So yeah, it'll go ahead and be Kyle Busch for me. Looks like maybe we lost William. All right, looks like we got William back there. A little technical difficulties. Sorry about that. All right, so that's who I've got taking the checker flag, and that's who I've got second place. Let's remind everybody. Let's give everybody, William, a chance to plug his channel, plug all the awesome things about that, and tell everybody, aren't you going down? You said you're going down to race. Are you going to Xfinity, or you're just going to do the Cup Series? What do you got going on this weekend down there?
Yeah, I'm going down for the weekend at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I am going to both the Xfinity Series race and the Cup Series race. And while I'm at the track, I'm going to pick up some cool stuff from each of the sponsor tents. I know Georgia Peanuts will give away hero cards, and some other sponsors, Smithfield, I'm sure, and they'll give away hero cards. And on my Twitter account, you can go down below in the description to figure out. I'm going to give a giveaway every single day of next week leading up to the New Hampshire Cup race. So stay tuned for that. But also, it's going to be a fun weekend, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I know you're going to have a good time. So, all right, and his Twitter is WBlackwell72, WBlackwell72. And as he said, all his YouTube and Twitter information is in this video description. All right, and we always talk about every week all the great content you over there. I also saw this week where you previewed the race schedule for 2022. You got that on your channel?
Yes, I got that on my channel last week. And
yeah, that's pretty cool.
I am pretty proud how that video came out. I think that's one of my best videos I have uploaded on YouTube. So go check that out if you're free on time, anybody viewing this video. It's awesome, and I'm pretty sure you would not be let down.
Yeah, no, you definitely won't be down. It was a video I certainly enjoyed watching. All right, let's go ahead and let William drop, where I'll then hang back here and give you guys my picks for a chance to win $10,000 on the NBC Sports Predictor app. Another $1,000 over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Have a good time, man. Go down there. Have a good old time at the racetrack this week. I'm jealous. Super jealous you're going to be down there.
All right, man.
All right, we'll see you. All right, there you guys have it. That's how we're going to compete for a chance to win $25,000 over on the Jackpot Races. Now let's turn our attention to the NBC Sports Predictor app, where we can win $10,000. This is the one where they give you the 3 stages. You got to pick the driver to finish best amongst the 3 stages. Then you got to give them a top 3. So let's jump on into it and see how we'll do on this contest. For stage 1, I'll go ahead and go with Kurt Busch. For stage 2, I'll go ahead and give it to Ryan Blaney. For stage 3, I'll go ahead and give it to Kyle Larson. In my top 3, I'm going to go ahead and keep it the same. Look, I know there's that strategy where you can play this game 2 different, but the fact is these games ask you different questions, and if we ever hit it right, boy, I just want to win all the jackpots. So I'm going to keep this one pretty similar. I'll go Kyle Larson will be the winner, of course. Kyle Busch will be the second place, and for third place, I'll go ahead and give it to Alex Bowman. Just Hendrick right now, they're just too strong for my liking, so I'll go ahead and give Alex Bowman will be in P3 right there. Now let's turn our attention to the Fox Bet Super 6 app. This is where you can win $1,000, 6 questions, get them all right, split that $1,000 prize with a group of people. So for question 1, I'll go ahead and give it to Keselowski. For question 2, I'll go ahead and say 4, and I've got it between Elliott, Larson, Reddick, and Busch all getting up into that top 10. For question 3, I'll go ahead and give it to Reddick. For question 4, I'll go ahead and give it to Harvick. For 5, I'll go ahead and give it to Byron. And for 6, I'll go ahead and give it to Larson. That's how I'll round it out right there. All right, guys, that's how we're going to do it this weekend at the Quaker State 400 down there at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Go ahead and enjoy this race. I know I certainly will be enjoying this race. Then come back next week. We'll go ahead and recap this race. We'll go ahead and preview the next race. And we're doing a free giveaway with all the cool stuff that William will be getting down there at the track this weekend. So look forward to you guys coming back this week and enjoy that race. See you guys. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.